Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're all say welcome. I hope you will consider subscribing so you don't miss anything at all. Well, today we will be looking at a range of topics, but really just bordering around certain things I wish I knew before coming into the UK. So these are tips that you should be aware of, and of course you can share this video with your friends. Thank you. It's alright. It's okay. It's alright. It's okay. Alright, I just want to also start off on a really light note today. Well, guys, for those of you who are just planning, maybe you want to come into the UK, it's a great plan. Really great institutions here, of course, and I hope this video is really useful for you. So for starters, if you haven't found a university you need to go online, and there are really useful sites that you could check, like the higher education, and if you have specific universities in mind, you can go right into their own websites. You don't need to use, those other, just go straight to the university website. Say, for example, if you're going to Huddersfield University, just Google Huddersfield University and you will see the hod.ac.uk, and you will have tons of information you need. Look for the course that you want, and then scroll through the requirements. If you do meet the requirements, fantastic. If you're not sure, you can actually send them an email. You can even give them a call, and there'll be somebody there to help. So most universities are really open to have conversations prior to your application. Now, you need to know when you want to start. Some universities are open to start up in April, some January, most, if not all of them, September and October. So just be aware of that. Now, when you've done your application and you get any offer, most times it will just be conditional. They may ask you to pay a certain amount of money, part of your fees, of course, and then they'll send you the final offer with a CAS number or a CAS letter that would help you to, of course, get your visa. With regards to visa, that could vary depending on your country, but the general rule for a Tier 4 visa, which is the visa you use for the UK, if you're coming in as a student, you need to have your money in the bank for about 28 days. Depending on your country as well, you may be required to do a tuberculosis test. Some nations may require to do a police check or stuff like that. So do check for your own country what is required. Okay, so when you've got that in the bag, you've got your flight booked, and yes, accommodation, you need a place to stay. Most universities have rooms, accommodation. It could be a studio where you're staying all by yourself with your kitchen and your bathroom, in the same area. Or it could be en suite where you're just, staying with, maybe in a shared flat, you have your own toilet and bathroom and your room, and then you share the kitchen and kind of social area with others. Whatever be the case. But some good websites, you could check spareroom.com if you're just looking for a single room, for example. But yes, your university can also help you with that. You may be required to give a deposit, maybe for 6 months, 3 months, such contracts. But of course, in terms of your payments, you only pay monthly, which is great because in my country, you pay your rent for a whole year, so it's really helpful when you can pay monthly as well. So when you're coming in, it's a good time to settle in. Please do attend your inductions. They're really useful. Well, there may be a lot of information, but within all of that sift through, there is something there for you. Okay? So what are some of the key things you need to know apart from packing those lovely food stuff and all? Well, there are really great shops here, depending on your country again, but you can find people within your own community and they can point you to the right places to get those foodstuffs. I would assume that the ones that may be difficult to find, you may want to bring them in. So it's a good time to do those kind of checks as well. And also be careful, what would the flight allow you to bring in and whatnot. That's also important. Okay? Right, so when you come in, there are so many offers in the university, student discounts. Please do maximize those. From your rail card, for transport, and just do have those questions ticked off, you know, so you can absolutely get those discounts. You should have them, okay? Being a student, number one is actually cancel tax, so you will not be taxed to live in a house. All right, brilliant. Okay, so once you have those benefits and all, you start settling in. There's something that could happen. Of course, you already know about culture shock. You're coming in from a different country, really new, you know. You may find yourself wanting to look for people from your own country. So, for example, Ghanaians looking for Ghanaians, it's okay. But I would encourage you not to settle in for that alone. You've come into a new country, really diverse. You want to meet other people. For some than others, it will be easier to kind of mix with others. But I would encourage you to remember that we're all humans. There is only one human race. Forget about the colours and where we're all from. We're geographically dispersed, but we are just one people. We have blood, we all have to eat, we all use the toilet, we all have eyes, nose, you know, I'm just saying it on average. I do appreciate that people with certain disabilities, okay? So please, they're all human beings just like you. We're all not perfect. We'll all have one thing or the other to deal with. We're all humans. And I think what really can get us, you know, started off could even be our differences. Oh, how are things done in your country? And appreciating this diversity. It can be fun, actually. I've made so many friends from China, from Ghana, and some from, you know, British friends. So please do, especially when you're doing coursework as well. You have lots of group work, so just get into the groups and work with other people. It's a great skill that you want to pick up on. Okay, and maybe if you're very ethnocentric, and what do I mean? You feel like everything from your country is the way things should be. By the time you start getting to meet other people, you actually realize, oh, there are different cultures, different ways of doing things, and you know, it's okay. All right. Okay. And don't feel like, oh, yours is it's not good enough or whatever. Just bear in mind that it's different and it's okay to be different. All right. One thing I noticed, people may struggle to pronounce your name. My name is Ijoma. Back home, I'm called IJ. That's what it is, really. And here I just tell them I'm IJ. Most people want to actually know the full name and they put in some effort to pronounce it correctly. So don't be offended if people can't pronounce your name or they pronounce it in a very special way. Let me see. I've heard people calling me Ijoma, IJ, Oma. It's like they're trying to just pick up on all the letters. And I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Just call me IJ. Okay. So it's fun. It's fun being here. Yeah, so certain things that you need to know. I'm going to do another video with a kind of glossary list of every key term, you know, when they say rubric, what do they mean, plagiarism and stuff like that. If you haven't watched my first video, please do. I could put, you know, that for you here. But please do watch it and get to know all these different key terms and what they mean. They'll be really useful for you. Now, whilst you're waiting, maybe you're waiting for your visa or, you know, whatever it is you're doing, please, there are certain things you need to learn. One of them, I won't say it's the absolute best, but I would say it's one of the most important things you need to learn. And what can that be? Well, okay, all right, no joking, but seriously, you need to learn academic writing skill. The good news is that not everyone, in fact, nobody was born with an academic writing skill, okay? In fact, for me, I think learning English has been a journey. I'm a Nigerian, and most Nigerians speak English, okay? In fact, growing up, it was a little difficult for me to learn or to speak Pidgin English, which is like the very common language, and I love it. I did like I love it so much, but it was a bit difficult because, you know, my dad was this type that, oh, learn this kind of, you know, Queen's English and what have you. He had a drive and a vision that he wanted, but bless him, lovely, lovely dad. Anyway, my point is, I started off learning sounds because it's not the best of stories, but I had to kind of go 2 classes backward when I changed schools. And I did because I wasn't very familiar with the oral English, the sounds. So my previous school, we usually just say A, B, C, D, you know, as a child, well, primary school. And then I was moving to this new international school and I couldn't do all of the, you know, those sounds. And that kind of pulled me backwards a bit, but I'm happy with how far I've come anyway. Long story short, I got fascinated by sounds and I started learning. In fact, I think I had a program at one point. It was something with TV, radio, and my dad got me a Daniel Jones. I had to learn pronunciations on my own and what have you. Now, apart from the academic writing skill, which I'm coming to in a second, you would, I think, Nigeria, for some universities, they may be happy with a WAEC result. For some, maybe not. You may need to do an IELTS exam. And there should possibly be a centre where you live in whatever country, but it's worth checking online. They also have a PTE. I did a PTE then, and I think I had a high score in pronunciation because perhaps I've been too fascinated with it, or I've spent a lot more time learning pronunciations and all. And then when I got to London, because I did my masters in London, I also had sessions, English sessions. So the good news, like I said, you don't need to feel intimidated at all. If you're from a country where they speak English, yay, but that still may not be enough, because academic writing skill or style in itself is a way of doing things. It's something that you can learn. I learned it, so you can as well. And I came in here as an international myself. So just be ready to do. And if you can start from home, please do. One of the websites I had talked about before, and there are key resources online as well to not only learn English, but to actually check whether you're writing, you know, in the right format, if you're doing your punctuating really well and things like this. So please do watch that video, because those links, some of the videos I've already uploaded, you will find those there. But if you have specific questions, feel free to ask. The video on academic writing skill, obviously, you would have to watch it through, because there are certain tips that'll be quite useful for you. And in a sense, it really would differentiate what your grades will be. The difference I find when I mark the script of students, the differences between one student having a 50 and another one having a 60 could just be the way they write. And it's not just about grammar alone, but the critical elements that are embedded within it. And this critical element is part of what we talk about when we discuss academic writing skill or style, and of course your intake citations on all of those bits and bobs. So get started. That's one area you want to work on whilst you're waiting to come into the UK. Okay, the UK has a very low power distance, so you can ask questions in class, you can speak to your tutors. We actually have tutor hours, most universities do. My university do have tutor hours where you can go into your tutor's lecturer's office, sit down and have a proper talk about your module. All right, about your talk. Your topic, sorry. Okay, now there are some don'ts. I've seen that happen, and I'm like, especially coming from being a staff myself. There are certain keywords people use. Oh, darling, hi, love. It's just courtesy and friendliness and stuff. They're not really hitting on you. They're not really wanting an intimate relationship with you. So calm down in case you find that here. Be respectful to your tutors as much as they're friendly and all. Don't send them funny messages like, oh, you're so pretty and I want to get to know you deeply and stuff like this. It's weird. It's just weird. You know, I've had a colleague that has happened to her. This student wrote a note down, and then I've got some messages like that, and I'm thinking, you know, no, don't do it. All right, just keep it very professional. We are professionals. As a lecturer, I love my role. In certain parts of the world, lecturers do have those kinds of intimate relationship with students and to give them additional marks, not in the UK. As far as I'm aware, it's based on merits. Your work will be moderated. So after you're done marking, someone else will come in and mark again. Somebody who has not probably taught you on that module, who doesn't even know you whatsoever at any point in time. So please do your work because you want to pass. And to be fair, most of these maybe guys who are asking ladies lecturers or vice versa may not be doing it for the marks. It could just be because they really want to have some personal relationship. But again, that doesn't sound professional as far as I'm aware. So keep it professional, finish your course. That's what you're coming here for. Okay? But yes, if you're looking to have a sweetheart, that's a good thing. And you probably would at the right time. And if it's your tutor, maybe when you're done with your course. All right. Okay. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Just quick tips, said so much. I hope you're able to pause and hear certain things and take notes of them. But this is me just chatting through certain things I wish I knew myself. I would have spent my time doing more of this academic writing, learning and stuff like this. Obviously here you will have slides uploaded before time, case studies and all. Please do read those. It will really help you when you get into the class. If your tutor is going too fast, like I'm doing in this video, you can always go back to the recorded version online and listen in again. But you could also inform them that perhaps may go a little slower for you, if possible. And most of the reading will be done by you. You are the student. All right, so they won't cover everything about the topic, for example, in class. But you have seminar sessions where you can have proper conversation and engage with those theories, case studies, concepts and all. All right, there'll be a lot of presentation. It depends on your course anyway, but you also want to pick up some presentation skills, probably learning how to use Microsoft Word, PowerPoint slides. These are key skills, IT skills you need to have before coming in here. And also researching skill, ability to search for the right materials, but you will have useful links and resources in the library anyway, so that shouldn't be so much of a problem. All right, I'm going to leave it here today. If you have your own thoughts and comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, remember, here we start from excellence. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you soon. See you in my next video. Bye. Hey, have you subscribed? Okay, thank you. Subscribe, guys. Thanks, bye.